Hello and welcome to a bit of a different episode of Throwing Drinks, normally with Jen and Maggie, but just with me this week because Maggie is away on a shoot. As we know, Bravo, Housewives, it never stops. And so I thought in order to make it up to you that we've lost such a shining light this week, I would bring in one of the big guns. You've heard her on the podcast before. You've seen her in films like Top End Wedding and TV shows like Love Child, like the Artful Dodger series currently on Disney Plus. And like I said, she's a friend of the pod, Miranda Tapsell. She came with me to the Vanderpump season 11 premiere in Sydney the other night. And I thought, why don't we just reconvene the day after and talk it out? So huge spoiler warning if you haven't watched the recent episode of Vanderpump Rules. Otherwise, please enjoy. You are the biggest Vanderpump. You are the biggest Vanderpump fan I know. How did the premiere of the new season live up to your expectations or not live up?
Well, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me and Nakia to the evening. So our friend Nakia came along as well, and I was just over the moon because I think I texted you after you'd said, "Hey, babe, I've got Hey tickets to go and see the first episode," and I was like, "You have no idea how much I've been waiting to see this," because I even thought I even mistook the release date to be the 31st of December, not the 31st of January. So
yeah.
So I've been disappointed for a whole month. I've been sitting around not sure what to do with myself.
Especially because this break has been so documented already, right? We all saw it go down in real time, and then I've been watching endless videos, listening to podcasts, all this stuff. We've seen Ariana go from being the heartbroken woman to literally being on Broadway in the space of the time it's taken to get this show on. Yeah. So it is kind of weird that it was such a long wait. I understand production have their reasons or whatever, but yeah, I was like, I know this already. Just get into it.
Yeah. Because I get it. There's been so many affairs in the show. Lots of people have cheated, but this really broke the group apart. They really gave a sense of really living in each other's pockets, right? Going over to each other's houses, looking after each other's kids. And now it's really interesting to see what they have to do now,
So I'm rewatching the first few seasons at the moment. And it is really interesting. And I think it's just TV in general has changed, but it is really interesting to see how they interact with each other has changed so dramatically from the first few seasons, especially when Stacy's around, where they really relished being mean girls, right? And being exclusionary and really playing up the power dynamics of the group. If you're not with me, you're against me, and I'll turn everyone in this place against you. And that was I think very, that seemed very clear and out in the open kind of thing. And it's interesting, I think, because maybe the way TV's changed and the way we as reality TV viewers want to see women's stories being told. I still feel like those elements are still there, especially in the interactions between – I don't think it's the same amount of heaviness and meanness, but in the whole – Ariana and Lala conflict in this episode where not even Ariana and Lala, Ariana and Schwartz, where Ariana's just gone, if you're friends with him, you're not friends with me. I'm it's interesting how 10 years on, those things still kind of lie dormant in the group dynamic a bit. And I'm I don't know. I'm these people are in the at least mid-30s.
But I see what you're saying. There's still like there's times where they handle friendships the way that they did 10 years ago. But I don't know, like I feel as if a lot of the girls want to lay things on the table, you know? And I was like, okay, so there's a bit of growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I do feel as if and like, you know, Katie telling Schwartz, like, well, if you like miss Ariana as a friend, why don't you talk to her directly instead of, you know,
my God,
making me the middleman, you know?
Schwartz still using Katie as a middleman, even though they've been divorced for a few years now. Like, I'm like, this man hasn't grown up in the 10 years that he's been on the show. Like,
no. But her drawing clear boundaries and going, you know, like, we're not hanging out. We're not, you know, this is done. And you are not my problem anymore. Like, I'm all for, like, Katie. Like, Katie's gross.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm loving Katie. And do you know, like, it's been a real bummer that people are, like, giving her hate for her new style or whatever. And I'm like, I feel like she's in her renaissance. Like, she's fucking looking so good. I love how she dresses. There's, like, in the flash forward to the rest of the season, there's some kind of bisexual romance going on. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. This is the Katie I always wanted to see. And so starkly different from the first few seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's your favorite on Vanderpump, Miranda?
Who's my fave? That is so, like, look, James always makes me laugh. Like, I always have a good cackle with James's commentary. And I think, like, it's really, I think I was talking to you last night about, like, what a lovely, gentle sort of influence Ali has on him, like, and how much we love Ali just, like, having her own life. Like, she's just like, yeah, cool, like, I'll hang out with your friends sometimes, but I've also got plans. Like, I love that she dips in and out, really.
Yeah. She doesn't seem that much of a fangirl, which I feel like James has almost exclusively dated either fangirls or women who actively hated him and he just didn't notice. And I feel like at least with Ali, seems like a very grounding force and they're a good couple. And he seems very healthy in this new episode. He seemed like not drinking and all that, working out, meditating. I'm like, good for you. Like, you want a redemption story because I feel like, again, like, there's been some real dark moments with him over a few years. So it is really nice. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a perfect reset, I think, this whole thing, because you see enough of them over the years that you are seeing all the threads and what's gotten them to this point, and now they're evolving or something. I don't know. It definitely feels like the show shifted into a new place.
Oh, and wasn't it glossy? It had, like, Hollywood
budget.
sheen
Come
to
on
it.
now.
Budget. It just looks so slick. Yeah, like, what cameras are they using? What lighting are they using? Like, they've got a crew.
The editing was insane. Yeah, and it was fun. Like, we were at the premiere, which was at this, like, cinemas, and I guess I just never. You would
Gold
never
class.
watch that on a cinema screen, right? Gold class, sorry to brag. And but it worked on a cinema screen. Like, you know, it just looked really beautiful and made some of the moments really affecting, I feel.
Yeah. And, like, you can tell they get, like, remember all the, like, the tacky little sports bars they used to go to catch up? And they'd be having, like, they'd be having, like, the cheap, like, margaritas, you know, the $5 margaritas, whereas, like,
tequila shots.
Now they're actually having, like, really kind of fancy food, fancy cocktails. Like, I don't know, like, it's so they're so chic now.
I know they are, like, proper rich now. Like, they have really moved up in the world.
I just love, in true Vanderpump style, they've really like lulled us into a false sense of security. Like you watch it thinking, okay, the girls have got each other's backs, but then they go into the like coming up on the season 11 of Vanderpump Rules, and then you're like, oh wow, there's friendships that clearly shift, you know? Like you think, oh, Sheena and Katie might finally make some amends. They might finally clear the air. Nope. Like, things are going to get messy again. Like, and this is why I love the show.
Yeah. So what were your highs and lows from this episode? Like, favorite part, hated part? Your prickly pear and your super soft and sweet.
Look, I'm going to start off being the negative Nelly. My prickly pear was Lala ringing up Raquel. I agree with Lala in the sense that, because she has said in the media that it is a great shame that Rachel has chosen to do a podcast over returning to the show. It's like there was real opportunity for a redemption story where we get to actually see her, you know, she doesn't necessarily have to be friends with any of them, but, you know, we can see her evolve from, because it's clear that she's like showing some awareness of what she's done. It's just like, come on, Raquel, like, you know, you're a grown woman,
yeah.
like, you know, you've got to face this like a grown woman.
Yes. Did you watch any of the Salt Lake reunions?
No.
For Salt Lake City. So the whole thing with Salt Lake City was, and spoilers on this, we've talked about it a bit on the podcast. So the whole thing with Salt Lake City reunions was that Monica had kind of been outed as a troll page for all the women. So she'd been like leaking details about them and, you know, trolling them online and stuff like that. And the women found out on a girls' trip. And that was kind of like the finale of the season. And then 6 months later, they shoot the reunion, obviously, and everyone was kind of expecting, and Andy Cohen's talked about this a bit, everyone was kind of expecting Monica to get to a place with the women in the reunion where maybe the door is open for them to forgive her eventually. But the thing is, she just kind of shut down towards the end. And Andy gave her this moment where he was like, do you have anything you want to say to these women before we wrap up? And she goes, nope. And that was it. And now she's off the show, right? And I think it's a similar thing with Raquel, where, and she said this on, Raquel said this on her podcast recently, that when the reunion was happening, she was still very much under the spell of Sandoval or whatever, which, like, I feel like they're using that too much, this whole, like, we were in love and, like, no one understood us. We were in a crazy world of our own. I just think she blew her chance. You know what I mean? If she had gone there and she'd taken her hits, if she, you know, obviously Ariana had a right to say everything she said to her. If Rachel had just, you know, taken it and then kind of owned it all herself and not kind of let Sandoval get into her and, you know, feel kind of like she had to protect him and stuff, I feel like we wouldn't be seeing what we're seeing now on the show. And I feel like Raquel would probably be there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, she talks about, like, because I listened to some of the most recent podcast, the most recent episode of her podcast, because, you know, I wanted to hear what she thought of the first episode of season 11. And, you know, again, she talks about, like what you said, being under the spell of Tom Sandoval. And it's like, girl, you can't be saying that when you keep sending him things to the house that Ariana still lives in. Like, don't say that. Like, if you want to claim that, then you've got to cut off all contact with him. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't go and say that's an unhealthy dynamic, but then still stay in contact with him.
And I feel like it's just at some point it has to be grown girl shit. Like, it can't be like, it just can't be her being like, oh, I was being manipulated, I was being lied to, I was being like, it's been a year. Surely there's some new reflection you have on this now. Like, it can't just be, I was being manipulated, I thought this was going to happen, I was in an unhealthy place, blah, blah, blah. There has to be some growth that's shown, other than now that there's truly no consequence to anything you're saying, sitting on the sideline on your podcast being like, oh, yeah, no, it was actually like this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess – no, I completely agree with you. And I guess the prickle in, like, my pair is Lala getting in contact and then trying to justify it. And, like, Sheena, I agreed with Sheena in, like, when she said, you know, like this is apples and oranges. Like, with what happened to you is – like very, very different to like what Raquel's gone and done, you know? Like, you can't apply that to this situation. And I agree with what like Lala's saying, that at some point we need to forgive people and blah, blah, blah. But it's still like the way she went about it was so wrong. Like, she like, don't, you know, don't get upset and say Ariana doesn't really like me. I want to be her friend, but she doesn't want to be mine. But then do something that Ariana clearly wouldn't appreciate.
Which isn't a friend thing to do. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just think the fact that she did it and then told Ariana, rather than telling Ariana before, like, hey, this is how I feel about it. Is it okay?
Yeah. And also, like, because Ariana made the very good point of saying, like, if I did that to, like, if I called up Randall to try and make amends with Randall, I know that Lala wouldn't appreciate that, you know? So it's just like, you know, she talks about walking in someone's shoes, but then she doesn't, she's very selective. So I don't know. That was kind of, I have a feeling Lala's going to stir up a lot of crap this season. Like,
yeah. And I feel like she's very positioned herself to the point where I'm like, do you reckon producers told her to message Raquel? Like, that felt very produced, because otherwise that episode would have no conflict, right? If the episode was just like, all the girls get together and chat and then Sandoval arrives, then there would be no conflict in that episode. I don't know. It just felt a bit tacked on or something.
Well, like, she kind of had a lot to do with season 10. Yeah. Like, all of that, like, you know, all of that, like, rewinding and going, let's take a look back at this and that, like, how heavily produced that was. And you're like, okay, so she's clearly, like, got ideas, you know?
Yeah. I feel like she is producing herself. You know what I mean? Like, people used to say in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like, that Lisa Rinna was a producer, that like Lisa Rinna understood TV and understood how she could position herself. So Rinna was always at the center of conflict. She was always kind of bringing stuff up, because if she created that, then she would get more screen time and that would cement her. And I feel like Lala has that sense to her now too. But for me, I find it kind of jarring, because she spent most of last year, like, she's literally in this first episode wearing her Send It to Daryl sweatshirt. Like, she's profited off this whole thing. And then now she's like, and now I'm ready to make amends. Like, she and Sheena did a Christmas song and it dissed Raquel. But then she's like, oh, but someone should reach out to her. Like, I don't know. It just feels fake. But also I'm loving it.
I'm all for it. Like,
yeah.
No, it's just really interesting that, like, did you hear at BravoCon 2, she jumped to Sandoval's defense after absolutely tearing him a new one at the reunion? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I don't think they've never really been friends, have they? Like, I don't think they've ever been close.
No. I
mean, I can't remember, but I don't think they've been friends.
No, I don't think so. It just seemed out of the blue. Like, when I read that, like, it just seemed really out of the blue that she's like, you know, she's calling him all sorts of things. Not the worm with a mustache. That's James. But like, you know, she was calling him like dangerous and manipulative and
comparing him to Randall, like very directly at the reunion.
And then she goes and says, like, he's been through enough, like, we're done here. Like, she shuts a fan down when they start heckling, and it's like bizarre behavior to me. Like, very convenient for her, for sure. And and like, you know, I can certainly see, and this is the other prickle in my pear, like seeing the trailer where she goes, "Oh, I've never seen someone get cheated on and all of a sudden they're God." And like you and I were talking about it last night, and I was like, well, like, sorry, Ariana's earned it. Do you know what I mean? Like, she put like
it's truly the biggest lemons to lemonade moment ever, like in pop culture, I feel.
And like she put 9 years into that relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like, they may not have kids, but they have a house, they have dogs. Like, you know, he's like he's
and
been
she's
with
covered
her
shit up for him before.
Yes.
Like, she's been his ride or die. And, like, the whole Miami girl thing, you look at that now and that was true. And the way that Ariana went in on Miami girl being like, she's delusional, she's a stalker, all this stuff, when Ariana, in fact, knew that it was true and knew that Sandoval had cheated on her, like, you know, it almost makes me think, okay, maybe Raquel right that he does have a spell that he casts on women or whatever. But yeah, it is kind of, I don't know. I'm only happy for Ariana, obviously, and I'm really excited to see her glow. I love that we're seeing her new boyfriend, who is
that's cute.
So fine.
He is so fine.
Fine.
No, but I also actually love to see, like, I was all for like her revenge dress, like at the reunion, and her actually like being so like, you know, together and like articulate in her anger, at the reunion. But I love that, like, the episode really showed like her vulnerability and, you know, and Sheena pointing out that like she really hasn't had the time to process what she's actually like been through. And like, yes, you know, she's on Dancing with the Stars now and she's doing really well, but I think, you know, like the breakup still hurts. Do you know what I mean? Like, and she's still got to like see him every day. Like, she hasn't got the money to move out. Like, I think, so I was really touched when I saw all of that, like, and how big it was for her to like return back to Tom Tom, and like, it's massive. Like,
that's where the editing was like off chops, was the flashbacks and the flash forwards at Tom Tom, where that was like far out. Like, it's so leveled up, like the way they're crafting this now, the quick flashes between Tom yelling and Tom screaming I'm just like, they know that this season is spicy hot. Like they've got some good shit in here and I'm like thirsty for it. I'm thirsty. I found it genuinely very moving. All the women like kind of holding each other at Tom Tom. I was like, this is lovely. And that feels different to the rest of the season. Like the way the rest of the seasons, I should say.
Well, like it's going to be, I just feel like the confrontations are going to be different. You know what I mean? Like you think back to like season 1 where like, you know, which is, you know, extremely of that era where like, you know, Stassi's calling, you know, Sheena a home-wrecking whore, you know, and that was the extent of, you know, like the conflicts. They're like, you know, it's like, is it fair to call those kind of things shallow, like, or tedious? I don't know. Like,
I think you're right. Like, well, and I also think it's just like how deeply maybe they knew each other before, whereas now there's like a deep personal history, you know, like where in the first season or two, you know, Sheena was relatively new to the scene. Stassi didn't really have, well, she had Kristen and Katie as friends for a few years, but like, you know, it wasn't as deep. Whereas like these people have been through some shit now. So it isn't really, I don't think they could ever just throw home wrecking whore at each other again.
Yeah. And really, I feel like we're going to be like super conflicted. We're like, I'm like, I think I need to come back on again when Maggie's back so that we can like actually like, because I want to see like who we actually end up siding with, you know what I mean? And it could be different every week. This is what excites me about season 11. I'm just like all for it. Like I'm thinking, well, maybe I will be on Lala's side. I don't know. But at the moment I'm not. Like I don't agree with how she handled that.
You're a screenwriter as well as an amazing actor. If you were plotting out this season of Vanderpump, what do you foresee? Like, what would you want to see in this season?
Ooh. I would like to see Schwartz grow up. Like, they've established the like, well, James is like, I like who you are without Tom Sandoval. Like, when you're not Tom, like, it's great. And so I'm like, will they honor that journey? Like, I don't want to see him get back with Katie, but I would like to see him actually, like, you know, figure out his own wardrobe without Sheena coming in or a stylist. Like,
yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
fuck, I forgot about the stylist. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that? That was bizarre. Like, I just want to see him nuts. Like, that was so nuts. Like, and seeing like the outrageous choices, like, of clothing that he had, I'm like, dude, you know, please get rid of that. But he needs to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Katie has said all along, you know? And like, I don't want to listen to that. Like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do in my life. Like, I don't know where I'm going to be next. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with the restaurant. My whole life's falling apart. Stop being an Eeyore. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I would really like to, that for me, that's the top one. And I think I'd really like to see him actually make amends with Ariana. Like, I loved her, like, I'll kill you face, like the side eye. Like, it was
when he says hello to her at Tom and she just blinks slowly. I was like, that's so good. Oh,
yes, girl.
Again, shout out to the cinematographers, because the coverage is incredible. Like, you're getting some incredible facial expressions. Like Katie's face
eating the fry when
yes.
Oh my god.
This episode is pure cinema. It is cinema.
Pure cinema. Who do you think the baddie's going to be? That's what I want to know.
Well, okay, so there's some kind of hint, which, I don't know how much stock to put into the kind of coming up this season videos or whatever, but there's a hint that Sheena and Schwartz might have made out, and that causes trouble between her and Brock. I don't know how, but, that just seems like a salacious little thing to throw out there, but I do think it's interesting, especially the way that Sheena last season was so on Tom's side and so on Tom Schwartz's side, and really encouraged Raquel's integration into that friendship, which then obviously led to all of their downfall. So I feel like they're almost setting it up, or they could be, I don't know, but there could be an opportunity, I guess, if I was scripting it, to see Sheena go through the other side of being the Raquel almost, not to the same level, but just in the whole, she was so – I feel like she's almost going to get punished for how pro-Raquel she was last season. And I think that kind of conflict between her and Katie, I think, is really going to blow that up too. And, yeah,
a terrible pattern she often falls into is when people call her out on something and say, you're sticking your nose in like me and Schwartz's divorce and we're on good terms, like leave it. She'll go like I don't know, she just has this habit of like when she's told not to do something, she'll go ahead and do it. In season one, on it. She'll double down on it. Like, when Sheena says, not Sheena, when Stacy tells Sheena to stay away from Jax, what does she do? She rubs lotion on his back at the Mardi Gras parade. She's like, I don't know, there's that kind of, she claims that she's not like a stirrer, so that she doesn't stir the pot, but she does. So
absolutely.
That does need to really bite her, because she does do it a little too often to her friends, instead of properly owning up to it. I fundamentally
think that Sheena, I don't think Sheena is a girl's girl. I don't think, and she's said it multiple times throughout the series that she's not a girl's girl. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see her, depending on how much weight we give this whole Schwartz and Sheena thing. I think it'll be really interesting to see her put in a position where she could really benefit from being a girl's girl. She could really benefit from having those relationships and that support. But because she's eschewed it at every point, that she might just be kind of not pushed out of the group, but, put in a position where she's alone. Okay, actually, a bit of a change of topic for a second. What do you think of the new titles?
Oh, my God, they're so good.
You like them?
Yes.
They feel shorter though, don't they? I don't know. Is it just because there's less people? But there's something about it where I'm like, I kept waiting for more or something. But I guess, love
you
Katie's
think about
look.
How long the titles are in the older seasons.
Yeah, it's like a million people.
It's a million people.
And it was
people.
so long that
it's almost the whole song.
It was so yes. And the older seasons as well, they couldn't even fit everyone into the titles, because you know how it's like, the slow motion shots or whatever, but then you'd get to the big group thing. It's like Guillaume is there and Natalie and Tina and you're like, where did these people come from?
How funny was it that it just kept getting bigger and bigger every time? This one's for you tonight.
And then there's just 100 people all of a sudden.
It's just 100 people, and it's like, who are these people?
Actually, that's something else I miss from the first seasons, is the annual photo shoot that Lisa would make them do. I say, you remember they always topless or kissing.
Yeah. And I miss I miss their remember every season Stacy had her birthday, and it always ended her in tears going, "It's my birthday."
Yeah.
No one's had a birthday.
Guys, it's my birthday.
Someone needs to have a birthday.
Oh, no, I was just like, no one's having birthdays like Stacy was having birthdays.
No.
Like, to plan a group trip to Mexico or whatever the fuck, that's insane. That is so insane.
So
I
insane.
could never.
And it's like not even for like a milestone.
No, it's like, it's my 23rd birthday. Everyone has to take the weekend off from work and come to Cabo.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah, but like, do you see Ali and James getting married? I suppose that would have been definitely something they added in the trailer if that was the case. I think he's still too burnt, right?
I mean, I would love it.
After proposing
I think he's still too burnt.
Yeah.
I also feel like his career's starting to kind of take off a bit now.
Yeah, being a DJ and everything.
Yeah.
And Jax is returning. Why is Jax returning?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like cross promotion for The Valley, which we were talking about last night. Like, unfortunately, we are going to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to watch it, but unfortunately, that's what's happening. Yeah.
I'll need
I just
to
don't want to
definitely
see him
text
yell
you
at
about
Lisa
that.
anymore. Like, Lisa's in her 70s. Leave her alone.
Oh my God. I loved that pink lacy bra underneath the tux. It was great. Well, good on you, Lisa. Oh, I want to be like getting a pink bra out like when I'm 70.
Like, again, watching the early seasons, she really like puts herself out there, like getting into their relationships in those early seasons where she'll, with Katie, so much of her and Schwartz. Like, remember at Sheena's wedding where Katie gets a ring on a string from Schwartz, and it's not an engagement ring. It's just a gift. And Katie's like, dude, like, this is not what I wanted. It doesn't seem like you thought about this. And Katie's devastated. And then Lisa and Katie have a chat, and Lisa, I feel like she doesn't quite go to the point of being like, dump him, but I feel like she's always such a good moral guide for what the women should want for themselves, where she's like, do you really want someone who thinks you're worth that? And do you feel like maybe you're worth more? She always says it in a way that it just kind of leaves enough gap for the girls to make their own decisions. But I feel like she's not as direct like that anymore with them. Maybe because they're older. I don't know.
Have you noticed that she's like, before, like, it was kind of mum stepping in and going, you've got to watch yourself. But this season you can tell mum's tired. Mum's just like, well,
yeah,
this is your bed now, lie in it. Like,
yeah, that's it. She's like, I tried to help you girls. I tried and you didn't listen.
And you didn't listen, like, and yeah, like, I don't know. It's such a, I don't know. It reminds me of my mum. Like, my mum goes, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Okay, well, you did it. So, like.
You did it. So what can we do?
What can we do? I'm going to have my cup of tea, and Ken's going to come in and fix some flowers, and then we're going to kindly see ourselves out. Like,
and we'll see ourselves out. And I've made my check for the week.
I just don't want Jax getting all high and mighty, like, sort of, like, because have you noticed he's gone on See What Happens Live with Brittany, and sort of going, oh, yeah, like, I knew Sandoval cheated like ages ago, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I'm like,
that's
you are
so
not
classic Jax, though.
You're a black kettle, mate. Like, so
yeah.
Don't worry about other kettles.
That's just his. And again, like, he's a middle-aged man at this point. He must be pushing 50. It's like, bro, if you know these people are cheating, but straight up, right? He was like in his mid-30s in the first and second season. That was 10 years ago. He's in his mid-40s now. And he's like, yeah, I knew that Sandoval was cheating. It's like, bro, you had ample opportunity to speak up. Probably would have gotten you back on the show. Like, change the pattern. Change the fucking record. And this whole Valley show, I'm like, man, what are we going to get from Jax that we haven't? But again, I'm so mad at him, but I'm like, I'm going to watch the shit out of him because he's great TV. He's a wonderful villain. But it's also like, I feel like everyone else is leveling up and the conflict changes. Like we've been saying, the way that the girls interact with each other has definitely changed. I do not think, I mean, I'm excited to see if he has changed. I'm just not going to hold my breath for it.
Yeah. I just think that, you know, it just annoys me that, you know, that he's going to swan in and have lots to say. But, you know, he would have obviously gotten up to his own, like, mischief. So to kind of come in, like, after it's all been said and done is just a bit annoying, I think. And I don't know how I feel about him pretending to be a family man in the Valley. I'll be keen to see, because he's very big on that now. Like, you know, I'm married to a Southern woman who's, you know, who's got the right things going. Like, he's gone from being a ladies' man to this, and it's like, okay.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes.
But yeah, like, what are you hoping? Like, what's your dream? Like, what's your dream thing to come out of this? Out of Vanderpump Rules?
Ariana's like risen, right? Like she's hit her stride, and I want the same for Katie. Yeah. I want Sheena to become a girl's girl. I want her to, like, let go of her allegiances to the men because it's literally gotten her nowhere. She's sided with the wrong people time and time again, and it's always the men. And to a point where you go, like, if you, like, and there's been times where she's known that they've fucked up or, like, fucked around and she's covered for them. And it's like, bro, if that happens to you, you'd be devastated. So I want Sheena to become a girl's girl. I want to see more Katie Malone killing it. I would like the fucking sandwich shop to open. I don't think it ever will.
Nakia got me something about her jumper, and it hasn't opened yet. Yeah. Like, yeah, and they're looking at, like, crockery for tequila. And it's like, why are you looking up crockery for tequila?
I feel like it was a film set, honestly. I really do. Especially because they got Nancy Meyer's production manager, a production designer to design it. I'm like, this was a film set. It was always a film set, which I feel kind of a bit like, come on now, girls. Like, we wanted this for us. But I wonder if it's just because Ariana became so busy that they couldn't do it.
Yeah, with Dancing with the Stars. Because she went on
Dancing with the Stars and then now Chicago and stuff.
Yeah, I really hope they open it because, like, they seemed so on top of it last season. They, you know, they had their loan approved. They were, like, getting people to test the sandwiches. You know, like, it was they were really hitting their stride. They were well ahead of the Toms in terms of getting it all together. So I want to see that happen for them.
Yeah. But otherwise, I am really excited for it. It just feels like it's leveled up in a really natural way. And I feel like it's still not taking itself too seriously, but what's happened is pretty next level, you know? Like, it's just set up so well.
It's set up so well. Whoever's, like, throwing them, like, one-liners is great. Keep going because they clearly they all have great senses of humor, so they know how to deliver a line. So I want more of those too. More one-liners. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Who had your favorite look of the show, of the episode?
Ooh, okay. I think I'm loving, like, Katie's, like,
I'm
goth
with you.
chic.
I'm with you.
Her little black lace numbers, her little, you know, like her little bondage kind of tops. I
reckon, yeah. Yeah, I honestly, people hate it or whatever, but I loved her denim vest. I was like, this bitch is like living her life and I love it.
And I'm happy for her. I think the haircut, it wouldn't suit a lot of people, but it suits her.
No, it suits her
so well.
She's looking good. And it's so good to see her killing it and Schwartz flopping.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
We are kind of running out of time, but I just want to ask, have you seen any of the clips from the Vile Files with Sandoval and Schwartz?
Ooh, no, and I need to watch this.
Sandoval shows up half an hour late to the podcast, so it's a lot of Schwartz just apologizing for him. And then it's just the same fucking Sandoval shit. Man, you've got to understand, like, we weren't having sex. Like, this person belittled me. I had low self-worth. And then you have someone like Raquel who's amazing. And it's just like, and that's why I just do not have high hopes for him, to the point where I can see why he was left out of this episode. Because I'm like, we're not going to get any new.
But also, like, I just really get tired of Schwartz saying, oh, you know, like, he really, you know, Sandoval really, like, did me dirty, and then apologize on his behalf for being late. Yeah. Like, it's like, dude, like, first step of the process is to not apologize for your friend being late. Like, yeah. Like, no. And I just think that, you know, sure, a lot of people could argue that Sandoval's done the time for the crime, but, like, for him to continue to double down, for him to not just let Ariana have the house, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, move the hell out,
like,
dude.
Take the L. This is the thing. I think he just has this whole thing where he cannot accept the fault. Like, it will always be, you know, I'm sorry, but, or like blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, at some point you just have to accept that you fucked up and move on. Whereas this whole constant, like, chipping away at the story, chipping away at the people, chipping away at Raquel, chipping away at Ariana, you know, how it's not entirely his fault. It's like, man, just fucking
You took Rachel to your hometown, to your family home.
Yeah.
Like, that's disgusting.
So
disgusting. For them to, like, sleep together on the night that Ariana has gone to her grandmother's funeral is disgusting.
Distasteful. And it's like, that's the bar that you've set for yourself, and you still can't even, like, apologize enough to, like, the bar is so low for him that all he has to do is be like, I'm sorry, I fucked up, no ifs, no buts, and I'm going to move out of the house. I'm going to leave Ariana alone because I was the wronged one. That's all he would need to do. But, like, it's been a year and we'll never see it. And that's, like, I don't know how much more I can take of it. Honestly, I wanted to boo every time he was on the screen last.
Oh, and, like, when he had the, like, audacity to be in New Zealand and going, oh my God, this is a beautiful place, I was like, get out of New Zealand.
Get the hell out of New Zealand. Get out of here.
I felt for you, babe. He was in your country.
You. Yeah. My ancestors were all rumbled. They were like, ugh. But, you know, whatever. He flopped on that show, so that's the ancestors coming for him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Miranda, thank you so much for filling in for Maggie this week. It's been such a dream.
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me. I just had so much I needed to say. So thank you for letting me vent.
Honestly, it's therapeutic to have you on. Is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to point people to?
Ooh, if anyone has not watched The Artful Dodger on Disney Plus, I am on there as a kick-ass bushranger. So please get on it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. You were sending our group chat like photos of you being a badass bushranger all year, and I'm so excited that other people get to experience that vision because it's real good. Thank you so much, Miranda. I love you.
I love you too. Thanks, babe.
All right, see ya.